Hello, everybody. Ella J here for a wrestling gala in the hottest season of the year, that being WrestleMania 41. We are now just days away from the biggest event of the year, our Super Bowl, guys. I don't really care about football per se, but this is my Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl. Of course, I am joined by two of my very good friends for the very first time on my channel. I am so sorry it took this long, guys, but if we were going to do it any other time, it had to be for the biggest event of the year. Of course, I am joined by Love Wrestling's Pluggo and JPJ. How are you guys today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am so good to be chatting with you guys here today to break down the card. Although at the time of recording this, it is right after Dynamite. It is April 9th. We are still about 10 days out from WrestleMania. By the time this comes out, there might even be more matches already announced, and we'll definitely have some more competitors confirmed for the women's tag team titles. But I do have to say that we are not alone today, guys. I also have another special fourth guest who you may or may not know. Um,
Uh-oh.
so let's bring them in.
Is that in my
Oh
contract?
my God, what is this? I didn't, no,
Oh man.
oh my
Oh.
God.
Wait, we have to be very clear
Oh.
about this.
All right,
Okay, I'll
I'm
talk calling on my
leaving.
ear.
See ya.
I didn't agree to this. I did not
I
agree
didn't
to
agree
this.
to it
This was
either.
not part of the contract I signed.
What
You don't sign
contract?
a contract to
There
be
was no
here.
contract.
Now I don't feel as bad as asking. The reason Ella doesn't care that much about the Super Bowl is because the Bills never make it there.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. That I'm jaded. I'm
Hi,
hurt.
Kimmy. I'm sorry, not Kimmy.
Not Kimmy Sokol, obviously. You know, it
Hello.
would have it would have had more mysterious effect had you worn a black hoodie, but I guess
It's
like a
true.
green or a
Green with
sage
black
green will
hearts will
do.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
black hearts.
Yeah,
Black
black
like
hearts.
my soul.
Yeah,
I feel that.
yeah.
Listen, this is what happened. I was getting ready to watch Dynamite, and I got a phone call. What are you doing after Dynamite? And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm doing something after Dynamite.
You can't beat doing something with the three of us
Yeah.
It's a
at
party.
all, right?
It
Like,
would
where
it
would
would
you
be
rather be right
Way
now?
to sound disappointed that you
Yeah,
have to hang
sorry
out
to
with your three
disappoint
best
you.
friends.
Sorry to disappoint you.
God.
Let's talk about our eyesight or maybe our foresight for WrestleMania 41, our predictions. Maybe we will be right, we will be wrong. I guess we'll keep track because that's Kimmy's thing to she's competitive. But
Thing.
honestly, going into this, guys, I was telling Kimmy, this is probably the most unsure I've ever been for a WrestleMania event because I can see a bunch of these matches going either way. Like, there's obviously matches where I definitively want a certain person to win. Will they win though? I don't know. There's only one match that I'm actually two matches that I'm really confident in. The rest, like 10 of them, could go either way in my mind,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Is it the
Um,
one I just convinced you over the phone?
I don't think so. No, no,
That's horrible. I literally
no,
convinced you so well.
no.
Apparently not.
No, not well
Um,
enough, Kimmy. Do better.
Um, as of this recording, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 matches confirmed. Randy Orton may or may not be doing something. We don't know if Chelsea Green is going to be doing something. They could add other matches last minute. But as of this recording, we have 11 matches confirmed, and we're still awaiting the results of the gauntlet match for the women to determine the competitors, challengers for Liv Morgan and Raquel. So I guess we'll start there.
Mm.
Obviously, by the time this comes out, you'll know. In my mind, it seems pretty obvious that Lyra and Bailey are going to be winning that gauntlet and then going on to challenge Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania for the women's tag titles. But it has not been confirmed. Are you guys on the same page with that? Do we think it's going to be Bailey and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel, or do you think it's going to be another team from the gauntlet?
I agree with you. I do think they're going to go that way, but it infuriates me. And
Understandably.
what I want to happen, and they teased it on Raw with Bailey kind of slapping Lyra's hand
Yeah.
away at first. I want Bailey to turn on Lyra in that match and some other team win so we can get the IC
Mm.
title defended at WrestleMania because it's the first year for both of these new mid-card
Hmm.
titles. How are they not being defended at WrestleMania? They have to be, in my opinion. And it infuriates me that the IC champ might be fighting for the tag titles at
I
WrestleMania.
think they're gonna have Chelsea do something on SmackDown, but go on.
Because JPJ, you have to realize that SmackDown is the most important SmackDown of the year.
It
You know,
might-
you have the career suicide Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
That's gonna be
You
that's
also
gonna be an hour in and of itself. That
exactly.
match.
So you need to build that SmackDown up. I'm kidding. It's trash. I absolutely hate it. I think Chelsea deserves to be on the Mania card. I think it would be interesting if Chelsea Green's new service people were to win this
They're
one.
heels. We're not gonna have heel versus heel teams at
I know.
Mania.
I was just saying it would be
But
interesting.
that would be fun, yeah.
I think it would be funny because then that's how you get Chelsea technically on the Mania card because you'll have Chelsea walk them out, but that's not going to happen. Me and Ella would love for Mia Yim to get on WrestleMania, but that's just us having high hopes.
I think it's too soon for B-Fab too.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to
and
put her on there right away.
And also, where is Nia and Candice in this gauntlet match? Where are they?
I was just wondering that.
Yeah.
They would be an easy pick to win this gauntlet. And Nia, I think, deserves a match at WrestleMania after what her performance the last year. Like, how is she not built into plans for a match at WrestleMania? There's certain things that I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this specifically?
Yeah,
we're chilling.
And then we had Natty and Maxine. Natty has been dodging Maxine's request to be a part of a team, so they're not even working together.
They're gonna take the pin.
Which is funny on Natty's part because she's always trying to angle to get on these cards and get in these matches, and she's like, Maxine, I'm good.
I would Natty. Go ahead.
So weird.
I was gonna say, so for me, naturally, by like process of elimination, it's between Lyra and Bayley, then Katana and Kaden. I don't see a world where they leave Bayley and Lyra off the Mania cards. So for me, by default, it's Bayley and Lyra. Yeah. But I do have Liv and Raquel retaining because they've actually been like staples and regular fixtures in the women's tag team division, and I think they can carry it for a while. And plus Bayley and Lyra were just put together. They're there just to kind of fill some spots, and I feel like they didn't want to leave them off the card. So I have Liv and Raquel.
The title match again.
I mean, I would prefer that too, but that doesn't appear to be happening. In this case, regardless of who it is, I have Liv and Raquel retaining. Pluggo, what about you? We'll start with you.
I was gonna say the same thing. If it is Lyra and Bayley, I think that they lose because I think that they can't coexist, and we'll get like the rubber match somehow, some way of Lyra and Bayley. So yeah, it's a bummer though because it should just be Lyra and Bayley, and then figure out something for Liv and Raquel to do with all those other great tag teams that you mentioned. Why intertwine the titles with other titles? That was always a complaint when these women's tag titles were first debuted. Was we put the world champ with them all the time, and so yeah, it's silly, but.
Maybe Bayley turns on Lyra and that's how they lose, and then maybe sets up a title match on Raw, like the Raw after Mania. That would be my best case scenario given the cards. JPJ, what are you thinking though for the women's tag titles?
Yeah, I agree with the both of you. I think Liv and Raquel are going to win kind of regardless of who they face. I think they've been really good tag champs. And I think Liv was an MVP last year, so her on a elongated run with them. So I have them retaining no matter who they face as well.
Why does Kimmy look disappointed in all of our picks?
I'm not Kimmy.
She's not Kimmy. She's gonna be disappointed in some of my other picks. But Kimmy, I would have to imagine you're in agreement on this match as well.
I am. So what I think is going to happen at the end of the match is that Lyra is going to take the pin, and then Bayley's going to be like, I've been on this losing streak. I'm done of losing. Now I lost on the grandest stage of them all when last year I came into this the Royal Rumble winner and I won the title, and I just can't seem to get it right. And then she's going to turn on Lyra after the match is over to then set up like on Raw, like this whole heel promo and her like taking back what's rightfully hers.
Do we think? I mean, I know it's kind of, she's not really involved in it, but do we think I'm surprised it's not like Becky and Lyra. Do we think Becky Lynch returns at WrestleMania or maybe the Raw after WrestleMania?
Raw after.
I think Raw after. I was leaning Raw after.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that is honestly one of the only two matches that I feel really confident in. The other one is Jade Cargill versus Naomi for the first time in like 20 years. a non-title singles women's match on the grandest stage of them all. And if there's any story that's gonna do it, it's been Jade and Naomi. One of the best, one of the few like actually good builds in my mind anyway. Um I in my opinion, I feel confident that Jade is going to win. I don't foresee her losing in her first singles match on the grand stage. Naomi is a dependable veteran who can kind of guide her through it and make her look good, and also like more revenge for Jade, you know. I think they're gonna want to make her look strong in her first singles match on the Mania card. That's just me personally. Kimmy's like, I don't know. So Kimmy will go to you.
I think it has to be Naomi. This is her first
Mm,
singles match as a heel, and you have to cement this heel turn. And what bigger way to cement this heel turn than having her beat someone who's, when she signed, was ESPN covered it, and she was this big hype woman. And now Naomi's gonna be the one to be like, "Ha, psych, I beat you." Right. This isn't going to be the only match. This is going to be like
yeah.
3 matches in a row. Jade's going to win this series, but I think Naomi definitely has to win the first one because, again, this is her Naomi's first match of the heel. How are you going to have her lose?
Don't you want to see Naomi? Like I love like when Drew McIntyre lost, he lost, then he just spiraled more and more. And it's an entertaining spiral. I would love to see Naomi go more mad.
She can
But isn't this
later
Jade's
on.
first singles match at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't ever lose that either now, can we, Kimmy?
I think Jade's
I mean, you
only lost
can.
I'm sorry,
one.
not Kimmy. God,
I
I'm
think
gonna
Jade's,
say that a
if I'm
lot.
correct, I think Jade's only lost one singles match, and that was by DQ against Nia last year in the women's Queen of the. I could be wrong, but I think that's the only singles match she's
Uh,
lost, and it was by DQ.
well, Liv beat her,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's right.
On SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and that was like her
Never
first.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's right. Never mind
But
that.
no, well, but see, you said you're sure of this one. This is one of the ones
Yeah,
I'm torn on.
really?
Yes, because
You.
I see Kimmy's point, and I see both where you imply. I see everyone's points here because I do feel like it is Jade's first singles match at WrestleMania, so that's a big moment. That's a moment you would expect her to win, but it also is a huge match for Naomi because this is a giant character shift for her as well. And you want her, you would think that she would win her first big match after, like, turning into what she's become here in this new push as this new character. So I am kind of torn on this one. But I am leaning Naomi. I'm leaning with
Mm.
Kimmy, with
Oh, that's such a
Naomi.
problem. Me and
What a
JPJ are
Yeah,
never on
shock!
the
that means
same
we're probably
Kimmy
going to
and
be
page.
wrong. We're
JPJ on
probably
the
going to be
same
wrong.
side, Ella and I on the other.
Means we're probably going
What
to
a
be wrong.
surprise.
But I just, because I do agree that this is going more than
Yeah,
just
like we'll
this,
get
right?
like a
I
future
think through SummerSlam
stipulation.
or something.
Yeah.
I would expect it, to go a bit, and I
Hmm.
think there will be a stipulate, a Hell in a
Ambulance
Cell, or
match.
yeah, something great. That'd be good. Yeah, something like that. And I think there'll be time for Jade to get the big win over Naomi. I just think Naomi gets this one. Gets this one.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want it to be Naomi.
Maybe that's part of it
I'm
too.
just like, I was like, they're not gonna have Jade Cargill
Yeah,
lose
I
to
don't know.
Naomi at WrestleMania. Like, although I agree it would probably benefit Naomi more to win, but I'm like, they're in my mind, they're not gonna have Jade lose her first singles match at Mania because there's so much hype around her.
I just feel like Naomi is going to win the world title this year,
Mm,
and I feel like Jade's not. So I just view this as like part of the story. Like
okay.
that's just how I view it. Like in my
Mm-hmm.
brain, like with what's going on, who's closer to a world
Mm-hmm.
title? And I think Naomi is, especially with the character shift. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I think her winning at WrestleMania
Especially
kind of
if Bianca
propels her
wins.
to that,
Mm,
I
okay.
don't know.
Maybe if Bianca wins, Naomi and Bianca would be fun.
That's what
Well,
that's
Have Naomi win the Money in the Bank and her cashing on
yeah.
Bianca, then they do
Yeah.
that whole thing.
so I guess since we're on the topic of Bianca Belair, the women's triple threat for the Women's World Championship, which is allegedly going to be taking place on night 2, that is Io Sky defending the title against Bianca Belair, the Elimination Chamber winner, and Rhea Ripley, the former champ. Um, I'm leaning one way, but I can be convinced otherwise. Pluggo, we'll start with you. Who you got this
Can
time?
I just start off by stating that Adam Pearce has no spine? All you gotta do is needle him for a couple of weeks and annoy him, and he goes, whatever, do whatever you want. He's like a parent who's just like, I don't care.
He didn't do that for Chelsea Green though, and she like pestered him every week.
Eat the candy for breakfast. I don't care, because he was like so adamant that Rhea wasn't going to be here, but she's here. And yes, you can be swayed either way because all three of these women are fantastic. The only reason I'm leaning Bianca is because Bianca's got the WrestleMania streak intact, and I really think that they want to keep building that up. So I think she comes out of this as the winner. Okay. Simply because of the streak.
JPJ.
Yeah, when they first started going in this direction, I automatically was like, oh, Bianca's winning, no doubt. I was like, Bianca's winning. WrestleMania streak is part of it, but I also think that we could see a character shift from her as well coming up soon, and I think her with the belt. But as they're doing this, I can be swayed in Io's direction. Because I feel like the fact that they're treating her like such an afterthought, the other two are like, she doesn't matter. That makes me think that she could win because they're just treating her like she is the third. Like she's just on the side.
She could just pin Rhea again and Bianca can make the claim, you didn't pin me.
Something like that. But from the jump, I've thought Bianca. I'm sticking with Bianca. I think the WrestleMania undefeated streak and just her. She's been away from the world title picture for a while now. And, I'm picking Bianca, too.
Not Kimmy Sokol. You have the floor.
The only reason I'm kind of torn is because this would technically be the second WrestleMania that Io walks in as champion and loses.
Yep.
Because she
Alexa
lost
Bliss
last year.
Did that.
No, Alexa I'm not talking Bliss. About no, that's not the point. The point is Io herself, not just wrestlers in general.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Io has had such this strong year, and, I feel like the reason they made it a triple threat is just because they wanted to get Rhea on the card. But they could have done 100 million things with Rhea, and we're just stuck here, right? So I'm going to pick Bianca, but I wouldn't be shocked if they just gave it to Io just to be like, I finally won a match at WrestleMania.
I don't know how much time we have on this podcast, but I'd like to hear those 100 million things they could have done with Rhea.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You could list those off for me.
No.
They could have paired her up in a tag team.
It's one.
I'm making the executive decision there. That's not happening.
I said 1,000,001, so that's your 1 in a million.
Okay, well, there you go. I was also leaning Bianca for one, like the streak, she is undefeated at WrestleMania, and two, I was like, if it was going to be Rhea, I'm like, why have her lose? I don't know. It just like they could have set this up differently if it was gonna not be Bianca. Like they could have set Io up. I was at the Raw where Io won the title. I was like, they could have set this up with like a double count out or a no contest, so Rhea would walk in with the title and Io can make the claim like, oh, you didn't beat me, But the fact that they put the title on Io, I'm like, why would they have Rhea lose it just to get it back like a month later when they could have gone like the no contest or double DQ route? And then so I'm like, oh, Io's just a transitional champ then, even though like I love her. So I don't think it's Rhea because they could have, if it was, so I have to lean Bianca as well for the streak and the decision to put the title on Io. I don't foresee Rhea winning it because she just lost it. Which, I mean, that would be, I don't want to say that'd be stupid. And, like, I like Rhea, but, like, why have her lose it just to win it back, like, a month later? It's like, what's the point of that?
Well, at first, when they had her lose it, she did that really awesome backstage
promo and I loved it.
And then, like, the next week, they forgot all about that. Yeah, and she was so, maybe they had plans to have her, like, have some, but they just were like, nope, she's just going to bully her way back into this thing.
So, like,
Rhea.
JPJ kind of is swaying me a little bit towards Io. Like that would make sense for her to do it. She could pin Rhea again. She has Rhea's number, and then Bianca makes the claim, "Oh, you didn't pin me," and then they set something up for Backlash. That's a possibility because it is a triple threat. But it's hard to bet against Bianca's winning streak.
Although I hope Io stacks both of them up.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
Style. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Pins both.
So I think I'm ultimately going with Bianca. as well. But I would love for it to be Io, and then they can run back Io and Bianca at Backlash again, because that was a great match 2 years ago.
100%.
But
100%.
I think the ultimate thing too is this is also going to forge the path towards Bianca and Rhea finally, maybe at like a SummerSlam or at the rumored Evolution. I think this is how we get to finally Rhea and Bianca singles on a big PLE.
Yeah.
So okay. So I'm kind of open to Pluggo. You can pick which match
Oh.
we talk about next. We'll go around.
Oh no.
Ooh.
The Intercontinental Championship match, the 4-way.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. We have
Yeah, I
Braun
wasn't prepared. I had
Breaker.
to look.
We have Braun Breaker defending it against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio, who are actually a part of the Judgment Day, unlike Rhea Ripley nowadays. Um, I know how I want it to go, how it might actually go. Like, this is really hard. I don't think Braun, I think because it's a 4-way, like Braun, again, he doesn't need to get pinned to lose, so it protects him. So I don't think it's going to be Braun. Like, the fact that it's a 4-way makes me believe the title's changing hands. But then we have, Finn and Dominic going at it. So I'm under the impression that one of them is going to be winning and we finally get the dissension for reals. But Kimmy seems to be leaning Penta, from what I'm
Oh,
gathering.
that's just what my heart wants. I'm so happy for my
Okay.
friend to make the Mania card. Oh
Mhm.
my God.
Who's your
Just
friend?
Penta.
All right, drink. Can you
So
name drop your friend?
This is a big moment for him, and I hit the pyro for this entrance is going to be insane. Just the
Yeah.
WrestleMania, whatever the stage is going to be, and the pyro budget. I'm so excited. But I'm actually going to go with Finn Balor because I know the rumor was that he was going to get a huge push this year, and I think this is the start of his huge push is winning the IC title, and then this is how you continue the dissension, the Judgment Day, and then you set up Finn versus Dom at SummerSlam.
Okay. I need to hear other arguments to be swayed.
It's
JPJ.
Dominic Mysterio is walking out of WrestleMania as your new Intercontinental Champion. Book it, write it down,
I mean,
take a
that's what
picture,
I
go to
want.
Better Picks, whatever bet online. That's what's happening.
Is that who you have too?
100%.
Okay.
I think he walks out of it. I think he sneaks out of there and wins this thing because I think he's kind of an afterthought here. And then the Raw after Mania, he loses it. I think he loses
And
it.
he's lost the last 2 Manias.
Yeah, I just think that, like, why
Actually,
not?
3 Manias.
If you're gonna do it, why not? And then you can still do Finn and Dom because Finn might be like, "Oh, you stole it from me. I want you tonight in the main event of Raw," and then Finn wins it there. Dom doesn't need to keep the thing at all. It just
Doesn't need to. We've seen wins for the IC title at WrestleMania, and then like a day or 2 later, like Zack Ryder is an example. I think The Miz also lost it to Wade Barrett like a couple days later. So we've seen like short IC title reigns coming out of Mania. JPJ, thoughts?
I'm more sure that Braun Breaker's not winning than I'm sure any of the other 3 are. That's how I feel about this.
Same.
It's going to be one of the Judgment Day guys. I'm more interested in Dom sneaking out with it and Finn losing his mind. Like Finn's been a jerk for a while, but we've really been waiting for him to snap and just be done with the Judgment Day. And Dominic winning the IC title at Mania, that would be the thing that would cause Finn to finally snap and be like, I'm done. The hell with all of you. And then I didn't even think about him like winning it that night from Dom, but I actually think that would be kind of a perfect way to go about it. Because I do think Finn probably should win the match, I feel like, but I'm leaning Dom too. So I'm going to pick Dom.
I was leaning Dom heading into this. Kimmy, I guess the big push could be like just outside of the Judgment Day. Like for him to get that big push, he first needs to be removed from the Judgment Day, and that's how you get it. And to get there, I think the rightful story is to have Dominic Mysterio either pin Finn or, like you guys said, steal the win. And like Finn is like going to pin Penta, and then Dominic like throws him out of the ring and then gets the roll up on Penta. I don't see Braun Breaker taking the pin here at all. But I don't see him walking out as champion.
Yeah.
And I think this is, if you're gonna have more dissension in the judgment, like they've been doing this on purpose, right?
Mhm.
Like they have, this is the time to pull the trigger on it, and maybe Finn finally gets his back out in the world singles wise. This would be the way to do it. And like it'd be a great surprise to see Dominic Mysterio walk out as the
and
IC champ.
He's earned it.
Yeah.
He's earned it. He's gotten so much better over the last couple years.
Yeah.
Like he's legitimately like good, and I think he's earned it. However, if Finn does win, he will pin Dominic. He will pin Dominic.
Oh yeah, I agree.
For sure. If Finn wins.
I feel good in saying it's going to be one of the Judgment Day guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I want it to be Dominic, and I think it makes more sense for it to be Dominic. Because then Finn would go crazy, and then he'll beat down Dominic, and maybe they'll have a title match, I don't know, on Raw or at Backlash, and then Finn wins. I don't foresee Dominic's reign being long if he wins it. But I think that's the better story, personally, and it protects.
Wouldn't it be funny if if this match happens on night one? I know it's not confirmed yet. Of like if Dom wins on night one, then he loses it on night two.
Yeah.
If
they added a match last minute, interesting.
All they need to do is validate Dominic. This is how you validate Dom. You just we recognize all the improvements you made. This is the vehicle for the Judgment Day.
And he's like the perfect transitional champ too, as well.
Because everybody's going to be excited. Nobody's going to care when he loses that thing. They'll care more when he wins it. They'll be excited when he loses it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for him to win it.
Yeah.
I like Dominic a lot.
He's gonna have a major babyface run at some point. Dom's gonna have that run. I think
we love to hate him though. Like it's exciting to hate him.
And I think that's why, because at first we just didn't want him around because he was kind of bad. And we were like, no, dude, like it's not working.
He's so good.
But now he's so good that we love to hate him out of respect. It's like a respect boo in heat, because it's like, no, this is what we're supposed to do for you. You know,
a respect boo.
Yeah.
That's rude. That's so rude.
Well, JPJ, you can select which one is next on deck.
Because I wasn't.
Yeah,
pick a good one.
A good one. Okay.
Aren't they all good, Kimmy?
Well, no. What does that mean? You want me to pick one of the higher tier ones, or you want me to pick?
That's up to you.
Oh,
all right. You know what?
Pick an interesting one that we're going to disagree on, or you think that we're going to disagree on.
That we'll disagree
there's
on.
A lot.
Okay.
I know which one. I know which one would make us disagree right off the bat. Kimmy would be like, "There ain't no way that dude is winning." But
that dude is winning.
Yeah.
Oh God. See, you put in the. You know what? This is not going to be a good one. Because I feel like you said that the Naomi Jade, and there was one other match that was a sure one for you.
It was the women's tag title.
Okay, all right. Well, then let's go for we just did the IC title. Let's go the United States title.
Cool.
Is this a juicy one? Is that a good one?
That's not the one I was trying to convince Ella on the phone, but I am picking Jacob Fatu all the way.
That's why I felt like this one could be boring, because I think I don't know if we'll all do it, but I'm leaning that. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
What, you don't think like again, I'm going in like undecided. You don't think like Braun Breaker costs Jacob Fatu like the title?
Braun Breaker?
Oh, not Braun Breaker. Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
So Braun lost that
think?
title.
Braun
He
Strowman.
it up the U.S. title.
You think?
They've been feuding, man.
Yeah. What about Solo? Do we think Solo gets his nose in this business?
Oh my God, what if Solo turns on Jacob?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, Solo's not on the card. I'm just saying that the U.S. title has been really bad the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And I think if Jacob has a really dominant reign, he can make it really interesting again. And I feel like when he separates himself from the bloodline, which I think is what they're leading to by the time SummerSlam goes around, I feel like the Jacob and Solo feud could be really good. And then Jacob could have a lot of good matches with a lot of other people on the SmackDown brand, especially because there's a draft coming up next month, I believe. So you get a bunch of new, fresh faces for Jacob to feud with. And I think it would restore the purpose of the U.S. title again, and not it just be an afterthought like it was for the past year and a half.
Solo could be jealous too, and like you said, that maybe sets up the Solo, and because the people like Jacob, the Samoan werewolf, we like Jacob.
Didn't LA Knight just win this thing like a month ago? Feels like
yeah,
not even.
Yeah,
Not even, right?
I mean,
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it
we've
was a
had
few weeks,
champions.
yeah,
We've had
SmackDown.
Charlotte Flair win it like 2 weeks before WrestleMania and then lose at the Triple Threat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
It's
just a
not like
thought.
unheard of, but yeah. Like I could see like a Solo or like a Braun Strowman like costing Jacob, but I think it should be Jacob because he's so hot. Like the people, like even though we're supposed to hate him, we respect that dude because we know how damn
Yeah.
good he is.
Hmm.
But it's just weird. I mean, I get why it's LA Knight. You couldn't really have Shinsuke versus Jacob, so I get why they put it back on LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think I have to lean Jacob too as well, but there is some looming thoughts in my brain. I'm like, is Braun Strowman gonna get involved here? Um, but so Kimmy said Jacob. It seems like JPJ also was gonna say Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah, Pluggo.
Oh man. Well then give me LA Knight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pure strategy. He's just going for victory. That's all he's doing. That's a
Yeah.
victory move right
Yeah,
there. He's like, they
that's
all
you
went
all
one, I'm
went-
going the other way.
Going the other because
Mhm.
I think we've all kind of been aligned for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and just steer the ship the other way. But I don't think you guys are wrong. But I also but all the things you said, all the involvement, all the
Mhm.
craziness, the solo factor, the bloodline factor, Braun Strowman that could end up in LA Knight retaining, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. But
well, Pluggo,
Yeah.
if you are right, I will text you first and be like,
Aw.
holy crap, I can't believe you were right about this.
well, you better get them text fingers ready
Is
because
Kimmy, I
Oh.
reluctantly give the next choice to you.
Pick one of the good ones.
now who's judging?
All right, so I'm gonna pick the one that I was trying to convince Ella on the phone about because I have no understanding why she thinks this is so difficult. Because there is no way in hell Rey Mysterio is losing to El Grande Americano
There's
at
a
WrestleMania.
chance.
You're
There is
crazy
a
for saying
chance.
that.
Rey Mysterio and Grande Americano.
El Grande
So
Americano is undefeated, just for the record.
That is true. That is true.
I think it is without a doubt Rey Mysterio is going to win, and Chad Gable is going to be revealed as
Excuse
El
me?
Grande Americano halfway through the show.
Grande.
First of all, there is no proof that Grande Americano is Chad Gable. So
If this was Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio, I would absolutely say Rey Mysterio. But it's the fact that they've made it El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio, and El Grande Americano is undefeated. Rey's won at the last two WrestleManias when, honestly, I love Rey, but he should have lost last year. Like Dominic and El Legado del Fantasma should have won last year, and they did not when they should have, if you want to put over the younger guys. Not that Chad Gable or El Grande Americano is like that young this year, but I'm like, the fact that they're having this match, why would you have El Grande Americano lose? Like, if he's gonna like beat somebody, like that would elevate him even more to beat Rey Mysterio, the legend. Rey doesn't lose anything by losing this match. Like his legacy is still intact.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna take anything away from him. But it'd just be funny if El Grande Americano like wins and then rips off his mask and be like, thank you. I don't see how El
Oh, what,
Grande
Ella? He
Americano's
does
gonna
what?
lose.
You do that again?
No.
I think we need to clip that.
well, I mean,
I just don't see.
I can't believe Kimmy actually thinks Rey Mysterio is winning this thing.
He thought I was crazy. I thought El Grande Americano was winning.
Come on,
I
Kimmy.
can't believe you're all picking El
Well,
Grande.
first of all,
better than
don't
that.
say all. Don't say all.
Kimmy,
Don't
I
say all.
love you.
So-
You're better than this.
I
You're
thought they
better
were going to
than
make this mask versus mask.
This is your
How is this-
intervention, Kimmy.
Oh, they should have.
They still can. They still can.
Okay, wait, if they do that, can I change
If
my
this
pick?
becomes a mask versus mask match, Kimmy, you will be right. You will be right. I thought that's what
Oh,
this
thank
was going to be
you.
because the whole thing is the LWO, Dragon Lee and Ray going, that is Chad Gable.
Mhm.
And so that's so why
Okay,
wouldn't
if
this
it's
be a
mask
mask
versus
mask
mask, then I agree that it's gonna be Rey. But as
Like-
it stands right
But
now,
as a singles match, I agree with
Even
Pluggo
then,
and
we
Ella.
know
that I think,
we know what Rey Mysterio looks like without the mask.
Yes,
Rip that
but-
thing off. I
but-
don't care. It's
yeah.
El Grande Americano.
as
every
a singles
day.
match, which it is currently as of this when we're doing this, I am going to lean with El Grande Americano.
The
But
money
I
match-
thought for sure this would be mask versus
The
mask.
money match is Chad Gable versus El Grande Americano, which Pierce needs to book at some point. That's the money there. I don't know what Ray's
Mhm.
getting involved.
You
He's
should
losing.
send him a tweet and ask him to book that match.
I might. He doesn't listen to me.
You know what's even more funny is Kimmy thought I was crazy. Meanwhile, we're all looking at her like she's crazy now. Thank you, guys.
Ridiculous. No, thank you. Hold up your peace
You
signs
need
and
to
say
have
no,
some
thank you.
silliness at WrestleMania. You need
Yes.
to.
Yes, you have to.
You will with all the
Shoosh,
celebs that are
Kimmy.
going to be there.
Yeah, shoosh.
Shoosh, Kimmy. Shoosh.
This is trash. Why'd I come on here?
Make a dramatic exit.
Yeah,
This
'cause
isn't
you
even the
love us.
match that I thought was going to be the most controversial with her, to be honest.
Well,
I guess
all right,
we'll
fair
get to
enough.
that one right now, and maybe I could be wrong. Maybe she'll agree with me. That's Gunther versus Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight
Hi.
Championship. I know how I feel about it. I know who I think should win. It's just I am so jaded. I'm willing to hear out arguments. I know where I'm leaning right now, but I'm open-minded. We'll have Pluggo start. Who do you have between Gunther and Jey Uso?
That's not fair. Because this one, like, what they've done with Gunther over the last couple weeks is I want it to be Gunther based on that because I like that side of him, that like just killer side of him, and of course that creepy ass smile this past Monday. I can't get past it. I have nightmares still. But Jey has to win this thing, right? Why would you go this route, have him win the Rumble when you had the most stacked Rumble you've ever had, and you put it on Jey? You told the underdog story. Big match. Jey needs to win a big match. Give me Jey Uso, but I'm not super stoked about it because I could see Gunther retaining, and he's been fantastic. So, but you can't have Jey lose another one of these big matches. Like, then you've just wasted your Rumble winner because I feel like you're going to waste another one. So one of the Rumble winners has to win it, right? I would think. When's the last time both went left? Was that Asuka and Shinsuke? 18?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Can't have that again.
So actually, I don't feel as crazy then because that is the exact reason why I think it should be Jey Uso, because like literally a week before the Rumble, he lost to Gunther at Saturday night's main event, right? Like that was a week before, and he's 0-3 against him right now. It's like, why would you go this route if you're not going to have him win? And if he doesn't win, you just wasted a Royal Rumble win and you wasted everybody's time because he was already 0-3. So like, why would you then book him to lose again and make him look even more stupid and even like lessen his credibility even more? So for the simple reason of like not wasting a Royal Rumble win, I got Jey Uso on this. Yeet. JPJ.
I think Gunther should win. Should. But for all the reasons that you two just said, like, yeah, you surprised everyone with Jey winning the Rumble, which I think everyone for the most part felt good for Jey about. Like, we all felt a certain way about it, and we felt good for Jey. I do think this story has been hit or miss with what they've done, but I liked what they done when the 2 weeks that they incorporated Jimmy. I loved those 2 weeks of this
week
story.
and last week,
Yeah, and I liked, I thought this week was pretty good with Jey kind of all black and things like that. I would have
I'm not
liked.
afraid anymore.
Well, here's my thing, right? Yeah, Home Alone. That's what I thought of the whole time. Oh, you hear that? I'm not afraid anymore. No, I'm kidding. I would have liked. Listen, I liked the substance in Jay's promo on Monday. I liked. However, that man almost beat your brother to death 5 feet from you. How are you not trying to kick his teeth in? Oh, it bothered. I was like, you got to attack Gunther. He almost like murdered your brother.
And he's
what
like,
are you doing?
Like
how
laughing in your face about it.
How are you just standing there letting him laugh at you when he literally almost killed your brother in front of you? But with that being said, Jey has to win. He has to win. Otherwise, yeah, that's just, he's lost almost every big match he's been in. Yeah, has to be Jey.
If Jey does not win, this is a waste of a Royal Rumble win, and I don't know how Jey bounces back from this. I think at that point, Jey needs to go back to, and Jey and Jimmy need to go back to be the Usos, because it would be that bad So you booked yourself in a corner. I think the Gunther we've seen over the last 2 weeks is the Gunther that people have been wanting to see his entire title reign, and it sucks that we're getting it right at the end. But I think that Jey does get the win. Gunther disappears for a little bit and then comes back and challenges who's going to win the night 2 main event. I think he's going to move to SmackDown.
Oh, and then whoever.
Kimmy redeemed herself from the last picks. That makes
You know what?
sense,
Honestly,
Kimmy.
I thought she was gonna think I was crazy for picking Jey
Yeah.
Uso, so I was wrong on. I guess this isn't as controversial as I thought.
Yeah, Kimmy, look at you, rebounding strong.
For the sweep.
I'm really trying here.
Now, Pluggo, I'm gonna make you. We have what? We have one.
Let's just say there's more matches.
2, 3 matches plus a potential. 4 matches plus a potential 5th, maybe with Randy Orton. We'll talk about that now, actually.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy was supposed to have a match with Kevin, but Kevin's out, so Randy's kind of has nothing to do right now. I saw something floating around that Nick Aldis might be the idea.
I would love.
I saw that too.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be hilarious. Unfortunately, shout out to Kevin Owens. We obviously wish him the best of luck with his neck surgery. Like, the fact that I could have been there for what could have been his last match in person is kind of sad, but I hope that's not the case. We wish you the best of luck. Now Randy Orton is opponentless. I do think he will be involved in Cody and Cena in some capacity, but obviously I think people would love to see him on the grand stage. I think then if you're in this route, you should have him do an open challenge, and then to appease the people, you have like A-Town Down Under come out and answer it in 2-on-1. He squashes them, gets in his punts, and gets a pop. Like, that's really, to me, all you need to do with Randy, because then I think you'll see him on night 2 for Cody and Cena. You just have to let him get those punts in. And plus, people don't like A-Town Down Under. Easy squash, you get the cheap pop, then you see him on night 2. That's how I would book it personally. How do you foresee his potential Mania match going, though? Not Kimmy Sokol.
I think Sami Zayn's gonna be the one, because Sami doesn't have a match. And I think you could tie this into, you know what, if this is the potential last match of my best friend, I want to fight for him. And I want to be the one to see if I could really prove myself against Randy. You could tie it that way. And I can't see them not putting Sami on the WrestleMania card. And this is the only spot I could see him in. I can't see him anywhere else or them. And I don't see WWE putting him in the career suicide Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And I cannot see, after last year, him being the one to defeat Gunther, a year later, him not even being on the card. So I think Sami Zayn is going to answer. I think Randy will win, but Sami Zayn will be the one to answer the open challenge.
Could Sami help Jey?
I mean, he can, but I mean, you're still going to have him without a match when a year before.
JPJ, you're thinking.
Yeah, because I've seen some stuff floating around. Maybe one of the returns happens with Randy. You know, Aleister Black's name has been floating around. Rusev just re-signed as well. I think those are guys that, even though they're making their return to the company, I feel like those are 2 guys that could have a really good match and still lose to Randy Orton, and it would be okay. But I don't know. Like, I think your idea, Ella, is actually a good one, because I don't know if that's the right spot for. I think, I don't know if that's the right spot for either one of those guys to make their return. Like, I think it would be cool no matter what if it was either one of them. But I'm not sure if fighting Randy or I don't know if that's the right spot. But I have seen that floated around. I do like the Sami idea, but the last time we saw Sami, and I understand, their careers have gone best friends, hated each other, best friends hate. KO tried to kill Sami Zayn the last time we saw him, so him coming out and wanting to immediately then fight in his friend's honor, who literally, that might be I don't know.
You wouldn't do that for me?
Yeah, but if a month earlier you were videotaping me in my home and trying to end my career, maybe not in the moment,
Yeah, I think that'd be a little weird personally for Sami to bounce back so quickly and defend.
Yes. Would it make
KO's
sense?
honor.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, obviously, with their history, would it make sense? You could tie that into making sense, but
Sure.
just with everything that just occurred, I don't know if that's
Mhm.
the thing. So, Randy's going to be at the show. It'd be cool if they gave him something. What you say, Eller, is more along the lines of something I think we will see.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, right now I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with Randy, but I do think we see him either give a bunch of RKO's or a punt or two, or we're gonna
Mhm.
see him kind of appease the crowd, like you said.
Grayson Waller effect with
Yeah,
Randy
something like
Orton,
that.
just
Yeah.
RKO's or punts, both of them. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the way, because you always, I mean, you don't always, but we've seen like impromptu matches happen before. Like in this, I think is the spot to do it in.
Yeah.
Pluggo, where is your head at on this?
I think you guys kind of all align where I'm at with it.
Okay.
I know that he was promoted and put on for Backlash because it's in St. Louis and that's where he's from. So he's definitely going to have something there. So something WrestleMania related, like the night 2 showing up for the Cody Cena thing.
That's how I think you
and
set
then
up
maybe we get him
Yeah.
at Backlash. So maybe that's all we get from him. But if you're going to do something like you said, night 1. Yeah, have him squash somebody out. I wouldn't want to have him like beat Miro or Aleister Black on their returns, but you could do it. I don't think you can go wrong with anything with Randy Orton on the card. So, but we'll see. But I don't know. That's crazy. Sami Zayn would be a fun match though. But yeah, we'd have to do some work to get there.
Yeah,
Sami have to let
two
bygones be
SmackDowns
bygones
left.
real quick.
Pretty
No, he's done it
fast,
before.
yeah.
I mean, he's done it before for KO, but that would be a quick turnaround.
That'd be a quick
turnaround.
So yeah, maybe we don't get anything until the main event, and he just comes out and he goes, "Yep, I got next," or whoever wins that thing.
Yeah,
I would love it to be Aldis though. Oh,
yeah,
that would be
cool.
such a great. It'd be great. It'd be great.
Maybe if it's on like a SmackDown. I don't know. Do they? I mean, Nick would be. He's totally capable. It's just how do they? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. But I don't know if they do that in 2025. But we'll see. So we have 4 matches left. We have AJ versus Logan, Cody versus Cena. The main event triple threat, Roman, Punk, and Rollins, and then Tiffany versus Charlotte. Pluggo, I'll let you pick next.
Oh, I was going to go with Tiffany and Charlotte because
Okay.
I'm interested to hear what the 3 of you have to say about that promo that went down on Friday because I haven't talked to any of you about it. Because
I didn't see it live. I was working. I didn't see it live.
I saw it after the fact. I watched it.
Yeah, I didn't watch
times.
it live either. I was doing something.
You know,
else. But that was the most interesting thing they've done so far in the feud. Whether it was good or not,
I'd say. I have been, and I know I'm not alone, but this has disappointed me. I'm a big Tiffany Stratton guy, and I think once because when she first won the Money in the Bank, the crowd, she's been over with the crowd for a long, basically since she's been on the main roster, right? But she was clearly a heel. And when she won the Money in the Bank, the crowd popped and the crowd was behind her because they told that story well, but she was still kind of a heel after that. And then once the Charlotte thing happened, they were like, all right, we're going full babyface with you now. And I think she struggled kind of finding who her character is. And I think Charlotte has not helped her in this feud, which has been disappointing to me. I feel like Charlotte could have been a little bit better in helping Tiffany along the way here than she has been. In general, I do think the match will be very good. I think it would be better if Tiffany went over. However, it's Charlotte Flair. I am picking Charlotte Flair. Ooh. But I do think it would be better if Tiffany beat her. I just don't know if I don't know if they're going to do that, especially kind of seeing the struggles we've seen on the way to the show. So that's where I'm at, yeah.
I just feel like Charlotte, it's not hitting. Whatever she's doing, it's not hitting like it used to. And I don't know if she just isn't evolving, because it's not like she's doing anything vastly different than she used to do in terms of the promo work. It's just not hitting this time around. And I don't know if people are just like, yeah, that's kind of what you've already said before. I don't know. If there's something's missing, and then like that whole thing where it seems like they went off script a little bit there Friday and started talking about Kaiser being
little.
I'm being nice.
Yeah.
sounds like they blew up the script. Which again, I don't know if that actually helps or hurts things. I don't know how we kind of get back on track. We'll see on
I
Friday.
think honestly, I mean, they might have gotten heat for it backstage, but I think that's what the feud needed. Like, I think it's actually made people a little bit more invested in it. Now, that's also dependent on what they do next, obviously, but I think people are actually like, oh, like paying into actually kind of paying attention to it now. Um, I'm before I go, do you have your official pick, Pluggo?
Oh man, I was hoping we would do that thing we do on Beards where you guys just talk and I don't actually make a pick and we move on.
Wow.
Give me based on my picks because I said they're not going to waste both Rumble winners and I picked Jey. I'll take Tiffany because I think this ain't it. I don't think this is the time for Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to cement Tiffany and she's finally finding herself as a baby face ish tweener thing that she's doing. So yeah, give me Tiffany.
I'm not gonna lie, these last four matches, I am like the most torn on. Because, well, for one, so Charlotte's 4-3 at WrestleManias. She has lost at all the odd number WrestleManias she has been at, and this is an odd number WrestleMania. But
That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
granted, she was not at last year, so like, do you count it?
No.
I don't know. In theory, she would be due for a win because she lost at the last one she was at. If we're going by like records, um, but like Tiffany made a point in one of the early things, like where if Tiffany loses, she doesn't really hurt her that much because she got beat by, the great Charlotte Flair. Where if Charlotte Flair loses, then she got beat by a 25-year-old rookie, So like Tiffany doesn't to me, Tiffany doesn't lose anything by losing per se, but also like if Charlotte wins and like Charlotte's how JPJ felt about Tiffany, like Charlotte's my girl. But if she wins, she's at 15. 15 world titles and like that's awfully close. Do you move her ahead while you potentially have Cena? Do you have her move one closer to her father while Cena potentially eclipses her father on like the same weekend? Is the thing. I don't know. I am the most unsure about this, but I think I have to go with Charlotte because to me, Tiffany doesn't lose anything by losing to Charlotte. And I think they wouldn't pull the trigger, or maybe they wouldn't pull the trigger on Charlotte as the Women's Royal Rumble winner if she wasn't going to win at Mania. But I could be wrong and it could be Tiffany because this match, like these last four, I am like very like undecided, but I think I have to go with Charlotte.
I don't know. Yeah, this feud is sucked.
Hey, you don't have to put sugar around it. It's fine.
This feud is sucked.
Yeah.
Listen, the whole Mania build's been iffy if we're really gonna get there. However, it is Charlotte Flair at a WrestleMania. You know what that means when she's challenging for a title. It means that she's going to win. I'm kind of nervous to see where Tiffy goes from here, though. I think it'll set up a rematch for Backlash, but what else do you do with her? And I feel like Tiffy is such a strong talent that we've seen, like pairing her with Nia Jax was such a smart move to do.
Mhm.
I think it really put her over to a whole new audience that may have not watched NXT. Obviously, we saw her with the international crowds, like Elimination Chamber in Perth. She was the most over person in the Elimination Chamber match. And I just don't want her to get lost in the shuffle, which is my fear when Charlotte is the champion. But yeah, Charlotte's gonna win, and this is either a hit or miss. Either this match is gonna be really good or it's just gonna suck. There is no in between of this match being okay, and I would not be surprised if we hear someone stiffed somebody in this match, or someone had a receipt in this match.
Battle of the Moonsaults.
It could. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not worried about the quality of the match.
Mhm.
I feel like it's not been good. It's just not been good.
All right. Well, before we get to the main events, we also have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And I can't lie. This is probably the match I am the least sure about.
Really?
I have no fucking clue which way this match is leaning.
Really?
No. I don't know.
I like the really, Kimmy. What do you, if you're so sure?
Yeah.
I think Logan Paul has to win
Why?
because he hasn't won at a WrestleMania yet.
Yes, he has. I was there at WrestleMania 38 when he and The Miz beat
Yeah.
Ray and
That
Dominic. I was
happened? I
there.
think
Yeah.
it's been 2 Oh, I was there too.
He also
I don't
won
remember
last
that
year. He
day.
Yeah.
successfully defended the U.S. title
Yeah.
against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. He's 2-1 at
What are
WrestleMania.
you talking about? Do your research.
Kimmy, just say you don't watch the product. That's fine.
Jeez. Watch the games,
He's 2-1
Michael.
at WrestleMania.
Oh,
God.
this is what happened. Hold up. You understand that some
She
of us,
watched him lose to Seth and
I don't
said, yeah,
disagree
he
with
hasn't
your
won.
Yeah, I don't disagree with your pick, Kimmy, but at
son,
least
do
have
we
some substance to the pick. My
do we
God.
understand that some of us have to work during WrestleMania week and some
Yeah,
of us
Here we
have to
hello.
run
go. Here we
around
go. Here we
like
go.
a
Yeah.
chicken
Here we
with
go.
their head cut
What does
Here
that
off?
we
have to
go.
do with past WrestleManias?
I
Excuses,
don't remember.
excuses.
I don't remember anything that happened on a
Excuses,
goddamn
excuses.
WrestleMania.
The only match she
Excuses,
remembers is
excuses.
him losing to Seth, is what I'm
I do
gathering.
remember
Probably.
that. That was a good match.
It was.
It was.
I will say I do agree with Kimmy. I do think Logan Paul will win this match.
Thank you.
Even though he's never won at a WrestleMania before. I do think he will break through. Finally break through and get his
Yeah,
third
I
victory
Show
at
Speed
WrestleMania out of
didn't get
4.
RKO'd last year. Like
Literally.
what?
Literally will get his third win out of 4 WrestleManias, but he will break through this year. My thing is I don't want Logan Paul to win. But again, I also feel like this is the match that of the whole show is kind of just it's the one for me. I don't care that much about it. Sadly, I think it'll be very
Same.
good and athletically it'll be impressive. But yeah, I have Logan Paul going over because it's Logan Paul, and I think that he's going to be at the top of the card basically forever as long as he's around. So
Can I add something to my theory that's actually accurate this time?
Sure.
This is potentially AJ's last WrestleMania,
that is true.
right? We are not talking about the bigger picture here that by the summer, AJ might not be under a WWE contract. And if this is truly his last WrestleMania, that would mean that he would, if he was a good person, which I know he is, he would put the other guy over. So I think that's the bigger story here is if AJ really isn't signing, which he's been very open about, that this was really his last WWE contract, that plays into picture. I mean, we haven't heard anything since the injury, not injury, injury angle that happened at the end of last year, early this year, but that was the big talk. I know Ella and I talked about this for at least 2 weeks of, oh, AJ might be done with WWE. So that's the other thing that I wanted to add. That's accurate. That's not wrong.
I think you may have swayed me to Logan Paul then.
Redemption arc. If Logan
Look at that
Paul,
redemption
if
arc.
Logan Paul wins and he beats AJ Styles, and AJ Styles' whole thing is like, well, you're not really one of us. Will we get a handshake? Like out of show of respect, like a passing of the
I
torch
think
type
AJ
move?
would shake his hand, yeah.
If it was like a really good
He
match,
beat him,
and he beat
I
him.
think he would.
But I don't think Logan Paul would shake his hand, though.
That's
I think
fair.
Logan Paul will continue his character and say,
No.
I'm a dick and
So
leave.
then, do you think maybe we
True.
get this again at Backlash? We could maybe this is just not a
Possible.
one-off. Because I think Logan Paul's winning it as well. I mean,
Logan probably just goes away. He's probably not even gonna be at Backlash, honestly.
he's probably he's busy. He's a big
No,
time.
He'll be back around.
Well, I think isn't he full time? Isn't that the shtick?
Yeah, now
like
he's
he said he's full
full-time.
time now? At least
He's
that's what I've
full-time,
heard.
but not full-time. He's like
Yeah.
semi-regular.
Yeah. I just
he's,
think
he's full time, but he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. And I think if he's staying on Raw, him and Jey Uso for the world title at some point, if Jay's gonna fight other people, that's
That
where
means Logan Paul is winning the world championship.
would you be I don't want it to happen.
It's gonna happen
I don't
at
want
some
I don't
point.
want that to, but that's how I feel. At some point they are gonna do that. They are gonna do, I think.
I agree.
I don't know. Not saying I want that to happen, but you know.
Do you also have Logan winning then, Pluggo?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can be swayed. If
I don't
this
feel
is
great
AJ's
about-
last Mania, yeah, I can see him wanting to put over talent. Now, we have 2 main events. I think one is going to be more fun than the other. JPJ, which one do you want to go for first?
Give me that triple threat.
Okay. That is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, who will be accompanied by Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins. Now, I know what I want to happen here,
Did you
but
say
for
Paul
me,
Heyman's going to be accompanied by Seth Rollins?
did I?
No,
No, I said CM
he's
Punk will be
accompanying
accompanied
CM
by
Punk.
CM.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I still have Monday on the mind for now.
That's okay. That's what I want to happen, though. I want Paul to turn on both Punk and Roman and then align with Seth Rollins and he helps Seth wins. That's what I want to happen. But my God, it is hard to bet against Roman Reigns. This man has never lost back to the last time before last year. He lost at a WrestleMania. Was at WrestleMania 31 when Seth Rollins cashed in. And he technically wasn't Brock was Brock pinned in that match or was Roman?
It was Roman because
Roman.
then
Okay.
Seth said, I love
Mm.
you.
Yeah, like thank you, I love you, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But so the last Roman has never lost back-to-back WrestleManias, like period. So that's where I'm like his record, I'm like, really questioning that. I feel as much as a great moment it is going to be for CM Punk, I have to rule out CM Punk right away. I don't think he's going to win. But I don't think he's going to be pinned either. I think it's either going to be Roman pins Seth or Seth pins Roman. I don't believe CM Punk is getting pinned at all in this match. Um, as for who wins, I need to open the floor because I know who I want, but it's my head is like can't bet against Roman Reigns. I can't.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You
Pluggo
can,
think it's
though.
going to be
Pluggo's going.
this year though.
Wow.
You think it's gonna be CM Punk?
Uh, yeah. Why would you give him his main event? He's in the main event. Give him a win. He's going to take Paul Heyman back from the Tribal Chief. I can't believe you're picking Roman Reigns in a main event of a
I'm
wrestling.
not I'm not necessarily picking him. I said I'm open to I need to hear people out.
I think you should give Punk his WrestleMania moment. He gets a win. He gets the one up on Seth, who's got problems with. He gets his best friend Paul Heyman back away from the Tribal Chief. We all go home happy. That's what I want. Why not? And I don't pick against Punk very often because he's my guy. So
Okay, that's
I'm
fair.
biased as all get out.
That's
on
like
that
Kimmy doesn't pick against Seth. Actually, we'll go to Kimmy because you don't pick against Seth Rollins a lot.
And I'm not picking against Seth Rollins. I think Rollins is pinning Punk.
That would be
I think
epic.
Oh.
I think that Rollins is finally going to get his win over Punk in this WrestleMania main event. If you saw Seth's face when it was announced as the main event, he looked like he was ready to crash out. And I feel like this is a new kind of edge to him. I think he will walk with Heyman. I think what's going to happen is that Heyman is going to cost Punk. And then you'll get a further feud between Rollins and Punk. And then Rollins is there with Heyman holding his hand up high. And Rollins like, listen, I outsmarted you. You thought you had me all this time, but I took your guy, and now I finally beat you, and I ruined your WrestleMania main event. The only reason you came back to this company, I ruined, and I can live so happily by that. I don't think Roman gets the pin at all. I feel like that would hurt him, meaning that we haven't seen him that often. And I think, as well with the Cena Cody thing, I think Roman is gonna want to get his title back at some point. So I think you keep him fresh for
Oh,
that. I think Roman.
that's a spoiler then for your Cody Cena pick, but go on.
I think that Roman goes away after Mania actually because this man doesn't work on a full-time schedule, just like John Cena. Hey, it's a miracle that we got booked for next weekend's SmackDown event. Way to go! I don't know how we got that done, but way to go, WWE. But yes, I'm picking Rollins, pinning Punk.
Hey, JPJ.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins as well. I don't think Heyman's going to turn and join Seth Rollins. I think Heyman's going to walk out of the match because I think Punk and Roman are going to revolt. I think Heyman is going to get sick of being in the middle of Roman and Punk, and I think Heyman's going to walk out. And then I think Rollins is going to take the advantage and he'll win. I'm not really sure who he's going to pin yet. I see arguments either way, but I just think with last year's Mania, how Rollins was kind of an afterthought and heading
on
into
one knee.
yeah, And like, I'm glad that they gave him his flowers, and Cody admitted in that promo that Rollins was the reason why he won. And like, I feel like they've been kind of, and now Rollins is saying like, I felt like when this all started and this triple threat was starting, it kind of had that same feeling like, well, Seth is kind of an afterthought again. But now what they've done with Seth since has been a lot better. And like, kind of, he's like like the other two are at each other, and he's like kind of trying to like manipulate the puzzle pieces.
Is that messed up though that he tried to kill Paul Heyman on Monday and goes,
Here's
now
my
you
thing.
owe me, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't do
Okay.
it. I didn't do it.
That is BS. And no, just because you decided to spare the man, he doesn't owe you shit, buddy. He doesn't owe you shit.
That was the only thing where I was like, come on.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No. That was the agreement to the War Game stipulation, so he actually owes Punk a favor. Rollins deciding not to do something to Paul Heyman does not. That doesn't mean you get stuff. Oh, I decided to not go to work today, but yes, you should still give me my money.
Exactly.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
It definitely does. That is definitely how
it's a little different, but you know how that you know what I'm trying to say. But I do think Seth Rollins wins because I do think.
Join me, Ella.
I do think.
No.
Here's my thing: of all three of these guys, I think if Seth loses, it does the most damage to Seth.
I agree.
So, like, I think if Punk loses, like, I just think Seth needs the win more than the other two because I think
Seth has lost so much this year too. By the way,
yeah, and so that's where I'm at.
I can't. I have to rule Punk out. Like, I have to. For me, in this, like, it's not as glaring, but we were talking about EO being like the odd woman out. Like, Seth feels a little bit like the odd man out because I feel like Punk and Roman are like these big juggernauts. And maybe that's also another reason why I want Seth to win because he's like been carrying on it, but he doesn't get his flowers enough. He's not like the big mega star and all of that like Punk and Roman are. So I feel like that's kind of an underrated win that like the underdog that I want to win as well. And I think it would be cinema, whether it's either like Kimmy said, maybe Heyman accidentally costs Punk and then Rollins capitalizes, or my God, I don't use cinema a lot, but my God, it would be so cinematic for Paul Heyman to turn on Punk and Roman. Like, I want that so much.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I can't not look at Roman Reigns' record. It's so... him losing at 2 straight WrestleManias seems crazy.
If Seth pins Roman for a second time at WrestleMania, that's a lot of shit talk. Seth has, because out of all of this, the match I want to see the most coming out of this is I want to see Roman and Seth one-on-one again.
And like
that's
I think
what
that's
I want.
That's how you get to it then too.
Yes.
Is by him pinning Roman.
Yeah.
But I also see Kimmy's point of like that protects him. But it's also like, where do you go from here? If Seth pins Punk, like then they're just gonna keep feuding, But
exactly.
But if Seth pins Roman, then that's a SummerSlam match right there.
Yeah. I also think, and like, I understand where your head's at with the Roman stuff. He's Roman Reigns. Like, as far as,
exactly.
if he loses, who gives a shit? He's Roman Reigns. Yeah. To me, it doesn't.
Back-to-back losses for Roman could add
an never happened.
It could add an interesting, like, maybe he starts having a little doubt,
Yeah, I know it's never happened, but I feel like they're at a spot now where, I mean, this match isn't even for one of the main titles. Like, they're at a spot now where I feel like Roman can go on a mini losing streak, and it's not.
I mean, Jey Uso pinned him, so
yeah. Like I feel like they can do that with like if Roman gets pinned by, if there's some shenanigans, and Roman gets pinned by Seth again, I don't think Roman really gets. Match. Yeah, I don't think Roman gets hurt by that. I don't. Even though it's Mania and it's another, I just don't. What did it take for Roman to lose last year? Took John Cena, The Undertaker, 3 Crossroads. Like it took.
Yeah.
An army. Took an army last year.
That leads us to one final match, the main event of night 2. And it's important to remember then you have to think ahead to Backlash John Cena is advertised for Backlash. So is Randy. I think Randy Orton is going to be involved in this match in some fashion. It's either he's helping Cody and then we finally get Randy and Cody at Backlash, or I don't know. Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE Championship against John Cena, who could potentially eclipse the record for the most world championship reigns in WWE history.
And potentially just leave
The
with
Rock
the title
could
and
be
never come
involved in
back.
this. Travis Scott could be involved in this. Randy Orton, Sami Zayn could be involved in this. He's friends with Cody.
Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes. I know who I think it should be, but also it's also hard to bet against Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go last again. I know what I'm thinking right now, but I could
I
be
gotta hear
swaying the
from
opposite
everybody.
direction. Yeah,
Oh.
I know Kimmy's answer
home field
already.
advantage is strong with Ella.
Home field advantage. She's like, I'm gonna let everyone else talk, and then I'm gonna pick.
I know where Kimmy's head is at. So let's hear it.
I think it has to be Cena. I think what a better way to format your heel turn than winning the title. And imagine like that Monday on Raw being like, I did it and I didn't need any of you guys to do it. You know, his first promo since turning heel was talking about this abusive relationship. And the first match I had out of this abusive relationship was winning the title and being the person who's held it more than anybody. I was right. You know, you all called me hypocrites and all this stuff online, and I was right. And I think that's what you want. I don't know how long he's going to hold this title because I don't know how often he's going to show up.
Well, he's advertised for Backlash, so I assume he'll be defending it there if he wins.
Yeah, I think after Mania, we're going to see him a lot more often than we've seen him.
Okay. If he wins it, though, and he pulls, if he's true to his word, does he go, well, I won it, I'm going home. I'm not showing up Backlash. You can't make me.
No, because he said he was going to retire in December.
That is true. He said,
but he also said in these promo he's going to take his title and go home because he's the last real champion.
In December.
Yeah, but that's how I took that. I took that as he's going to win at Mania and just have it all year and retire with it. That's how I took it. I didn't take it as him being like, "Oh, I won the title at Mania. I'm out. See ya."
I mean,
get December.
That would be awesome.
I don't think that would rule. That would be funny if he tried to do it and they were like, no. But
that's not how this works.
Yeah.
He's like, I only came back to win this title. I've done it. I'm going home. Screw this retirement tour.
I don't think you do the heel turn with Cena if he's not winning this match. And I think that's what it comes down to. As torn as I am because it is Cody and he's had the title for over a year and it's Cody. I think this is not the only Cody Cena match we're going to see this calendar year. I don't know if we get it back to back right away, but I think Cody will win the title back from John. I'm picking Cena. I think yes.
This would be the record.
I don't think Cena's going to listen. I don't know when Cena would lose the title because I don't know. I think by the time we get towards the end of the year, I don't think he's a bad guy anymore. I think the crowd's going to be wanting to cheer for him so much that he can't be the bad guy. But the way to do it would be Cena winning at Mania and Cody fighting all the way back and beating him in the last match for it. Like that would be the proper story, but I don't think they can do it that way. But I don't think you do the heel turn.
I'm booing him. I'm booing him all the way out.
Yeah, I don't think you do the heel turn if Cena's not at least winning this match. So I'm going to pick John Cena.
Okay, Pluggo.
I almost don't want to say anything because I want you to talk, but no, it's got to be Cena, right? Like all the things you said. You don't do this. You don't pull the trigger on this. You don't go this route if he's just going to up and lose in the first big shot he's got. And he's got the deck. This year, Cody had the deck on his side this year. He's got the deck stacked against him a little bit. You know, Travis Scott, The Rock involved. The Rock doesn't want Cody leaving. So I don't think Cody's leaving as champ. I think Cena gets it done. I think we're going to see it. It's going to be wild. It's going to be overbooked out the ass, but it's going to happen in a good way. It'll be a good way. It'll be fun. But it's going to be overbooked.
The other thing I will say too is if they wanted to go this route, which I don't think they will, but it is a possibility. Where SummerSlam is the last time you saw Rock versus Cena. And by August, if you want to run that match back and the last time you had that match type thing, if The Rock is really going to wrestle, then that's where you get Cena as a babyface again. So that's a possibility.
Mm.
I feel like for this match, like, just like I have to look ahead to like maybe just me wanting this, like to because it's in St. Louis. Like you either have Cena Orton or you have Rhodes Orton, I would have to imagine. Um, I think it will be and should be Cena. Um, but then like who do you like? I feel like you have to book him against Randy Orton. The only way I see that happening is if Cena beats Cody down so like bloody again, like basically repeat Elimination Chamber, and then Randy stands up in his honor and like to support his friend or something, and then we get Cena and Orton at Backlash. But like I really want that Orton Rhodes match as well. So I could see Randy like helping Cody under the stipulation that he then gives him like a title match at
And
Backlash or something.
we're also kind of
So
like,
I'm
I
like,
know
oh
Yeah.
it's Cena. This is like a special. This is like a special deal, right? Like this is
mhm,
unheard of. Like a year-long retirement
yeah,
tour for a guy.
yeah.
So he could win it at Mania, and he could take it all the way to December, and he could walk out
He
and say,
could
"You know
lose
what?
it
He
by
could really.
Backlash.
He
Yeah.
could just go and hold it all the way through, and then go. You know what? I'm
Hmm.
relinquishing the belt now. Cena might not, but they might just go.
Hmm.
There's really nobody lined up to beat you where this makes sense story line. So just keep it, and then like maybe next year's Royal Rumble winner is the new champ. I don't know. This is just a weird thing this year where we have this weird anomaly of John Cena's retirement tour looming over what plans you're
Yeah.
going to do for the whole year. So they could just say, "Hey, screw it, keep it," and then we'll figure it out at the end. And it could be Cody on the last night of
Yeah.
his retirement duty. It could be, "Hey, I'm walking out with it, and we're just gonna do a tournament to crown a new champion."
Were
I
you
don't
the
know.
one, JPJ, who said you think Cena wins and then Cody wins it back eventually? I think you were the one who said
Yeah,
that.
and when you involve Randy with it, right? Because now I
Yeah.
feel like the next plans for Randy with the KO stuff are obviously out the door. So you
Yeah.
can kind of, yeah. So let's say there's a ref bump. The Rock is there, Travis Scott is there. I think there's a way you can involve Randy that way. Like Randy
Mm-hmm.
comes out and like tries to help Cody win,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the numbers game and Cena still goes over. And then you can run Randy and Cena one last time for the title in St. Louis. Cena beats him. And then I don't know where you get to Cody and Cena again, but I would have that match again. Cody wins, and then Orton drops Cody.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you get to Cody and Orton.
There's also the possibility because we're like wondering who is this third. It's possibly that third man
What
is
if
Randy
Randy's the third?
Orton.
Yeah. And they have like
Yeah.
this veteran Rock,
Oh, it's the
Randy, and
plan B.
Cena
Yeah.
are the guys. Like that could happen. That could happen for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
I feel like there's just a lot of too much evidence of John Cena like winning, too many like upsides, you know?
Yeah.
And plus I think if you're gonna have him win the 17th anywhere, like WrestleMania would be the simply just for that, WrestleMania would be the stage to do it. Like because if he loses, like I mean, the easy feud would be Orton. But
Hmm.
like then the fuck do you do with him after that?
Yeah.
Like what? Um, so I think I also have to go with I was leaning John Cena, but I'm like it's also like Roman, it's hard to bet against Cody, but it seems like there's more upsides to John winning. And a lot more possibilities if
Hmm.
John wins. So I think for that I'm also going John Cena and new number 17.
Yeah.
And also for the simple reason he eclipses Ric Flair. So there you go.
Yeah.
Who
If
apparently
for
can't be
nothing
there.
else. Yeah, I saw
Shame.
that.
Such a
Yeah, I
shame.
saw that. Such a shame.
Such a shame.
Shame.
Golly God.
Alrighty. Well, that does that for our WrestleMania 41 picks. There could be some last minute matches added. We don't really know. But as of now, there's 11 matches confirmed maybe a 12th with Randy Orton. We don't really know yet. Before we get out of here, not Kimmy Sokol, we'll start with you. Let the listeners know where they cannot find you online.
So if I were to talk to my pal Kimmy, she would want me to tell you that you could follow her on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol, and you could follow her on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol. And she would also want me to so tell you that if you are looking for something to do in Vegas, if you're looking for a pregame for both nights of WrestleMania, if you're looking for something to do Thursday night, if you're looking for something to do, if you're not going to go to NXT because you think 9 a.m. wrestling shows are too early for you, go to WrestleCon. Ella, did you know Sunday is actually free admission to WrestleCon?
I did
Yeah.
not know.
So if you're looking for something free to do before you go to night 2, before you see Cena win the title, you can go to WrestleCon at the Westgate Hotel. There are over 260 talent over the 4 days for WrestleCon. There has literally been a wait list for WrestleCon, as Ella knows very well, because I'm like, there's more people on the wait list. How the hell is this possible? If you want to know who Kimmy's agency is bringing in, they are bringing in Sting, who is doing 2 days. This man does not do 2-day signings. I really wonder why he's doing those 2 signings. That's really weird, meaning he doesn't do that. And there's an event Friday night that he may or may not be at. But Saturday, you got the Wolfpack thing. Sunday, you got the Scorpion thing. Thursday night, Soraya is the headliner. She'll be signing her books. I got mine. I'm not going to read it because I don't read, but I have it for her to sign it. My dentistry pal, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will be back. She will be there all
For a
three.
rare sighting.
A rare sighting of me and Britt together. I know. The world is healing. It's just my world that's healing, but someone's world is. Kevin Nash will also be there. Mick Foley will be there. Lita and Paul Walter Hauser will be there. So if you want to see who else is going, go to WrestleCon.com and please, like I said, 260 talent. Guys, it's cheaper than WWE World, and it's right next door to World, right next door. So you can go to both.
I am Pluggo. You can find me on all social media platforms. You search Pluggo, my face pops up. That's me. Boom, right there. I don't know when this will air, so I will just say every Thursday night
Wednesday.
at 8 p.m.
Yep.
Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with JPJ on Between Two Beards. You want to know what we got going on them? Social media, and go to B2 Beards on all social medias. You'll figure out what we got going on there. Every weekend with Blair Pacheco for Exposure at For Exposure Pod on Twitter. We talk about independent wrestling, and then when I write, it is up on Love Wrestling CA as
well. JPJ, take us home.
Yeah. You can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. I also have a Twitch where I play video games, if you're into that type of stuff as well. He told you about Beards. It's the flagship of Love Wrestling, so make sure you're there every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I do another show on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings on Love Wrestling with my pal Drew Nicholas called Firmly Love Wrestling. We talk WWE on Tuesdays. We talk AEW on Thursdays, and then I hop over on the Raw post show for bodyslam.net, the Raw Dogs post show with my pals Nick and Corey on Mondays. I'm doing that as well. So that's where you can find me for my wrestling stuff. That's where you can follow me for video games and kind of my other content. That's where you can find me. So.
This will be coming out next Wednesday, so like 3 days before
days
WrestleMania
away.
Night 1.
Yeah.
By
I'll
then
already be in Vegas by that point.
Yeah. By then you will definitely know who Liv and Raquel are facing at WrestleMania. Maybe another match or two will be announced. We want one for Chelsea Green. We hope that. But in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky at It's Ella J. And obviously you can follow A Wrestling Gal on all platforms on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thank you guys for joining me here today. Pluggo, JPJ, not Kimmy Sokol. It's been an honor to chat with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.